Hello, Baron Dibitus here. Once again, another day, another reveal, and not one but two chapters in the kinetic novel today. I was quite pleasantly surprised. So, yeah, here we go. Let's do this. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right. So, we've looked at the Emperor, right? And I just realized that when I want to, and so looks like we have chapter 6, Imperial Accord, and chapter 7, um, Presage, Presage, oh gosh, Prestige. I don't know exactly how to, here. How exactly do you say that?
Presage.
Presage, I guess. According to Google, it's presage, which basically means, so as a verb, it means to be a sign or warning that something typically bad is going to happen. The outcome of the game presaged the coming year. It looks like this is a noun though, so a sign or warning that something, typically something bad, will happen. So it's like a bad omen or a portent of something bad to come. So there we go, presage. I learn something new every day. But yeah, let's go ahead and do this because we were left on a bit of a cliffhanger. I'm going to actually look at the reveal when it's like revealed in the story. So let's just get right into this. We've got a lot to read here. So again, last time Wu Shang was about to be like apparently burned to ash with this crest being touched on his head. At least that's what usually happens when someone has like someone besides Emperor Roland touches this circlet, this emblem essentially. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in the last video I predicted that Wu Shang would transform from level 1 to level 2, like his level 1 form to his level 2 form, like in the progression skin. Because of this event, because the level 2 form of the progression skin was where we have the closed eye with the tear emblem. But anyway, here we go. It is a difficult thing to be confronted with one's own mortality. It is perhaps even more difficult to confront it in a matter of a few seconds. Yet in the moments before the Emperor placed his shard of the crest on my head, a few seconds felt like it could stretch into eternity. Thoughts raced through my mind, darting and fleeting in a frantic dance. How did he come to possess a shard of the legendary crest? Why would the crest burn the common man to ash? Is the blessings of the gods truly only limited to a select few? What is the true nature of the gods of this realm? No, those are not the right questions. Something else nags at me. How can the Emperor bear the crest without being reduced to ash himself? Was he... I feel a searing fire burn into my head. So my time has run out. In some distant memory I am laying on a field of grass, staring at the bloodied sky. Not the prettiest sight, but one that I knew to be familiar. I can feel the light, gentle warmth of a breeze on my skin. A rare songbird chimes in, its lilting tune swaying and soaring alongside the wind. Soft rains, no, tears, stain my cheeks. I can hear the distant chattering from my village faint like a fading dream. Their voices call out to me, pleading with me as I stare at the fires of the distant lands rage on and on. Has this world been forsaken by the gods? And the answer is, yes. I have known this. The gods reside in their kingdom. Their blessings torch our earth. Yet I live. I breathe. I know not their truth, but I know this. I am still here. There's the emblem. Oh, what have we here? This is quite the development. Yes, come to think of it, I do think there is something you can do for me. Open your eyes, no need to cower. Tell me your name, boy. And there it is. Wushang is level 2 now. He has leveled up. That's so cool. I am Wushang. I do not understand. Wasn't I about to... Yes, as much as I hate to admit it, it appears there are forces beyond my control at work. I believe I understand what needs to be done now. Never did I think I would see the sun rise upon this day. You and I have a lot of work to do, Wushang. State your purpose once more. Do this, and I will absolve you of your charges should I judge your goals as worth my time. I would like to find the other pieces of the crest and reunite it with the fragment that you possess now. I have not come to undermine your sovereignty. I have no quarrel with you or your people. But I believe that this is a burden I must bear. My people have grown too comfortable with the stories of old and have resigned themselves to our fate. I now believe that if I were to unite the fragments of the crest once more, I can end this all. I will shoulder the burden of freeing us from the curse of the apocalypse. But I need your help, Emperor. You speak with bold words. You remind me of someone I feel like I once knew. Quite daring to march straight into my throne room and demand such a prized artifact from me, all for your own goals and glory. But I cannot deny that the circumstances have changed. I will absolve you of your charges. As Emperor of all things, God King Immortal, I officially pardon you, vagrant Wushang, of your crimes. You may now be greeted and welcome in my domain as a guest. Yes, I will provide to you my fragment of the crest. I will even provide to you the knowledge of the whereabouts of 2 other fragments, but under a certain condition. Okay. I will only give you my crest fragment should you successfully obtain the other 2 that I know the location of. If you fail to obtain both, then I have no faith that you will survive in the ravaged lands. There is a 4th fragment. Its location is unknown to me. You will need to find it on your own. This is my condition. I trust you will find this deal quite fair. Sounds good to me. Where would I begin to look for the other 2 known crests? Do you have any advice? And here is the reveal. It's a pretty short one. Momokins revealed these awesome avatars. Not avatars, podiums. My gosh, these look so good. The Truth Progression Podium. So, I've read the story already. Emperor Roland is going to basically explain to Wushang where to go to find the other 2 crests that he knows the location of. He's going to describe this location right here, and then this location, and I'm pretty positive this location is meant to represent the throne at Fort Habershant, because, there's sort of like this open, grand, fiery throne thing here, and also like a rocky hand holding it up and stuff. So I believe that these 3 podiums represent the 3 locations of where the known crest fragments are. Fantastic way to integrate the podiums. I was wondering where the podiums would be integrated into the story, and that's what we have here. So they look really awesome. So now we're going to hear more about these locations. To the north, in the blighted wastelands, I believe there still dwells a savage man-eating beast in possession of 1 fragment of the crest. You may hear it referred to as the Starved One. Most mutant creatures of this world are considerably strong. This beast is different. It can cleave its enemies to ash. While I could easily defeat it, I am not sure you could. Do not underestimate it. It is, however, sentient, capable of speech. Perhaps you may even find it agreeable in countenance. Whether by trial of combat or some kind of negotiation, I do not care how you manage to pry the crest from the beast. It has been many a year since I have looked upon the visage of that creature myself, so I do not know if it still lives. The other fragment of the crest is in possession of the messianic figure of that insolent cult, the Wings of Mercy. I believe the people know them as the Savior. They dwell in the obsidian spires to the south. That Savior is quite a loathsome being. Perhaps an even more terrible beast than the one of the blighted wastelands. They are a pathetic lowlife that only finds joy by hindering my plans of uniting this realm under my reign. Their little cult has been a source of misery for my people ever since its inception. Their little squabbles and schisms are a thorn in my side and a threat to the haven I have built for the people. And they send me stupid self-help pamphlets. The implication that I need any kind of self-reflection is baseless and unsubstantiated. I do not need help, for I am the one who was destined to conquer all the lands between. It is my name that should be preached in their cathedrals, not that lowlife. I am to be their true savior, yet they still fawn upon that abominable, detestable being. Their insolence disgusts me. That savior listens not to reason, as they have none themselves. They only seek to preach and lord their way of life above all else. If you can, please rid me and this world of their continued existence. Pry that crest from their cold hands. It seems a bit extreme, but I will just go with what he says for now. Travel to the blighted wastelands first. The occasional weather will be of hindrance, as they always are, but the rainy season is coming soon. It will be impossible to traverse those wretched swamps after that. I will see you off as soon as preparations are complete. And that is Episode 6, Imperial Accord. I will get to theorizing after I've read Chapter 7, Presage. Oh gosh, I forgot how to pronounce it already. But anyway, ill omen, essentially. Here we go. The Emperor was kind enough to grant me a change of clothing, several days' worth of supplies, and a quiet exit from the city. A marked improvement over being paraded around like a criminal to be publicly executed, I suppose. Nonetheless, I am counting my blessings. I am alive. I have a lead. There is something that must be done that only I can do, and so I travel, striding along the worn path with a renewed vigor in my step. I have barely lost sight of Fort Havershant behind me when I hear a light, insistent cough behind me. I lose my stride. Ah, so he's back. Oh, my dear Wu Shang, you know how much I care about a proper greeting. We've been through this all before. But, never mind that now. I see you're alive and quite well. My. You've got a whole new get-up and, goodness me, your floaty little emblem even changed. How very curious. See, that wasn't so bad, was it? I was about to be executed. The Emperor turns criminals to ash, revels in the opportunity to perform these executions even. And you threw me to the wolves. I don't know how I am alive, but it was no thanks to you. Now, don't get riled up now. I have my methods, you have yours. One of those brilliant plans got you into that fortress and earned you an audience with the esteemed Emperor. And it wasn't yours. Honestly, you should be thanking me. I had to have faith that you could work with that hot-headed oaf. And you should be lauded for your achievement. You've lived. And now you've been duly rewarded and graced with my presence again. Aren't you so glad? The Emperor has promised his fragment of the crest if I am to retrieve the 2 other fragments that he knows of. One in the Blighted Wastelands, held by a vicious beast, the other held by the Savior in the Obsidian Spires. Do you know anything about either of those beings of their of their locales? The Emperor waxed in great detail about their character flaws, but spared very little in the way of advice.
Is that so? I'll give you the lowdown as we approach the end. It's something you'll get a better understanding of once you see it for yourself. Now, why don't I tell you about all I did while you were busy getting executed?
The days pass uneventfully as we travel. The Wanderer entertained himself with idle chatter and snippy comments. I tuned him out by the end of the first day. Yet one comment from him did turn my head.
Have you ever wondered why you're so clueless about where we're going right now? This isn't just a jab at you, it's a jab at you and everyone around you, and everyone you've ever encountered. Think about it.
Few people have any reason to travel to the north. Fewer have any knowledge of what dwells there. Merchants and missionaries that pass through my village often speak of their ventures all across the land, spinning wild tales of glory and opportunity. Even daring adventurers have braved the forest of fire and the ravaged lands in hopes of a grand tale and treasure to bring home. Yet none ever mention anything of the Blighted Wastelands. It is a land shrouded in mystery, but one thing was known for certain among the people. No one who went to the north ever seemed to come back.
Lightless and quiet, like holding in a breath and not knowing when to let it out. A purgatory. Red and swampy, foggy and smelly. Used to have some weird wildlife. But most of all, quiet. Dead quiet. Long ago, I think there was some kind of kingdom there. One thing or another happened, and it turned it into what it is now. Whole place is a graveyard. I don't think you're gonna see anything except the beast and the bones that's picked clean. I don't blame you for not knowing anything about it. No one goes in, and no one comes out. And anyone who goes there goes to be forgotten.
The Emperor said he's been there before many years ago. Even knows enough about it that he knows it's sentient. If the Blighted Wastelands are truly what you say they are, what reason would the Emperor have for going there at all?
Oh, did he say that? Didn't think he'd be so open to offering that tidbit up. He may have had a hand in turning that place into what it is now. Oh well, if he didn't elaborate, who am I to divulge his skeletons? Things are better shown and not told. I am quite eager to see how these negotiations play out in the land of the Starved One. Will you slay the beast? Steal the crest from under its nose? Talk it out over a cup of tea? I'm just giddy imagining the possibilities.
Planning to fly off again just like last time? I would have figured you'd want a front seat to the action. But perhaps I have found myself in the company of a coward. I suppose that could also be it.
Snapping back. Ooh, you've gotten wily. My methods usually don't involve me getting my hands dirty. Intervening directly just isn't my style. But, fine. I see where you're getting at. I'll accompany you this time. Though, I'm not sure you truly want me there.
And there we go. So tomorrow, we will get Chapter 8, The Starved One. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be another skin. So, it is theorizing time once again. So, a couple interesting things here. Emperor Roland says that he's familiar with the Starved One and the Savior of the Wings of Mercy. Okay? And my guess is right now that Emperor Roland, the Starved One, the Savior, and also the Wanderer Reno are maybe not Reno, but Yeah, but the betrayer. So Roland, the starved one, the savior, and the betrayer. They were probably the four heroes in the story, in the story of the end. They were probably the four heroes that were meant to go to the blessed gates, with the betrayer being the one who was meant to become like the knower of truth or something like that, right? Not sure what's going on with Reno, but I still believe that he knows a lot more than he lets on. Clearly, like he knows what's going on. Maybe he was also one of the four warriors. I don't know, but that would, I'm not entirely sure what that would mean exactly. But yeah, so Wushang and Reno are going north first to the Blighted Lands. And as we can see here, the Blighted Lands are what we've got going on with this podium. And then the Obsidian Spires is what we have going on here with this podium. And then again, I believe the throne room of Fort Habershant is this right here. I'm noticing, by the way, this figure has skeletal hands. Interesting. I did not notice that before. Also, I see this odd symbol right here as well. Is that I'm not sure if maybe is that an I or an H or maybe just some other random glyph or something. I'm not sure. But in any case, let's see, what other thoughts do I have? Okay, yeah. So we've gotten some clues about who these other two characters are, the Starved One and the Savior. The Starved One was described as a man-eating beast. Okay? So that begs the question, who might that be exactly? Actually, here, I'm gonna pull up the Legends page to look at. I can't remember if he, him pronouns were used for this. I think it was more like, it, as in like, it is an animal. Potential possible candidates for this could be Bodvar. Maybe Bodvar is like full bear or something, like full bear beast or something like that. Nash, I've heard Nash as a possibility as well, because Nash is definitely like could work as some sort of like man-eating beast or something, like could be changed to be something like that. It was also described that these blighted the Blighted Lands or whatever it used to be a kingdom of some kind. I'm not entirely sure what that could mean. Technically, like Queen Nai's lore does talk about like an old like kingdom that is ruined now. You know what? I suppose Thatch is also a possibility for this. Thatch is like a watered down version of Thatch is Poseidon. He's like a watered down version of his former self. Technically, we could have Mordex as well, but I don't think it would be like. I'm usually not one to like have like previous skins affect my predictions, but Mordex has had a progression skin and an epic skin. I'm doubtful that he would be yet another Battle Pass skin. Yeah, I don't know exactly who would be fitting for like a famine type, like a famine beast type creature or something. I don't know. Maybe Onyx could be a possibility. Maybe Tezca. Tezca could be another one. That Tezca or Chell could also work because again, used to be a kingdom, but now it's just ruins essentially. What we've got going on here is basically a kind of some kind of I thought it was a dragon at first, but it might be more of a snake actually. I think this looks more like a snake. So that, you know what, Tezca or Chell could be possible. That would be cool. But yeah, so such are my thoughts and theories about the kinds of potential candidates for the Starved One, which we'll find out tomorrow. And then the Savior. So I noticed that the pronouns used for the Savior were specifically they, them. Like when Emperor Roland talked about the Savior, he used they. Like, and there are two characters in Brawlhalla lore who I, at least personally, I use they them pronouns for. Those two characters are Zariel, because Zariel's lore does not have pronouns in it, but Zariel also does not consider themselves male or female. They consider themselves above, like, you know, they're basically like genderless or non-binary or whatever. So even though there's no pronouns in here, Zariel is usually considered to be sort of like, is usually referred to with they, and then the other one that at least I use they pronouns for is Magyar, because Magyar is literally 100 souls in a suit of armor. So between Zariel, so if we take that into account, between Zariel and Magyar, I think Magyar is more likely to be the savior in this case, because this Wings of Mercy kind of thing is, especially as we saw with the priestesses from earlier, there's a lot of like religious Gothic cathedral overtones going on here, and Magyar definitely does fit that. I'd be interested to see how, if that is true, how Magyar sort of reinvented into like this savior or whatever. And also, the fact that it's 100 souls in a suit of armor, that's like a lot of death. So that would work for a death, themed character. Zariel could also potentially work because of a sort of, maybe as like an angel of death kind of idea. I'm less certain that it would be Zariel, more certain that it might be Magyar between the two of them. Again, Zariel does have a Battle Pass skin from Season 1, and so I'm not entirely sure if Zariel would get another, like, normal Battle Pass skin after that, but we'll see. Those are my thoughts. I think there's a reason why. So we have some sort of, like, man-eating beast creature here, like a lost kingdom or whatever. Again, like Nash or maybe Thatch or Tezca or Chell. It would be really cool if it was Chell, actually. We did get a Hugin skin in Season 7. So, and then for here, I'm thinking Magyar or Zariel, but leaning more towards Magyar. Those are my theories right now. And yeah, we shall definitely see. I will say, yesterday I definitely called that. I definitely called it that Wushang would level up. I'm pretty proud of that. It seemed like a significant event for something like that to happen. The next time Wushang would level up, like into level 3, is probably going to be like somewhere like in the climax of the whole story, like maybe somewhere around here, right? So, yeah, I think that's it. I did not expect 2 chapters today, but it does make sense because I guess if you don't have a reveal, if you have like 12 reveals or 11 reveals or something like that, then you might have to double up on chapters sometimes. And it does seem like we've been getting like a skin every other day, essentially. So like day 1 was like the reveal of the battle pass and the stage and the progression skin. Day 2 was emotes, not a skin. Day 3 was a skin. Day 4 was oh gosh, what was day 4? Oh wait, no. Day 2 was the UI. Day 3 was a skin. Day 4 was the emotes. Day 5 was a skin. Day 6 was the podiums. So again, the next day will probably be a skin. So very much looking forward to that, and looking forward to meeting the Starved One and seeing how Wushang handles all of that. Having a blast as always, reading all of these and going on this journey with all of you. This is really cool. This is really exciting. Oh, sorry. One final thing I wanted to mention. This is a few chapters back, but back in chapter 2 when we saw like the High Priestess, right? And I kept saying like, this is the High Priestess Nai like skin from like Battle Pass Season 4. I have since realized that the hair, like the High Priestess's hair, is different. In Battle Pass Season 4, she has white hair, like very much white with a little bit of purple. But in here, she has dark hair, like almost black. And so I'm more convinced now that it was really more of a sort of world building Easter egg or kind of like callback, like cheeky reference for those, if you know kind of a thing. But as far as I can tell, it's not actually High Priestess Nai. It's just a High Priestess who looks a lot like Queen Nai. And again, the hair is different. things are a little bit different in this world than it is in the world of Battle Pass Season 4. So anyway, just kind of wanted to point that out. That's what I think. But my gosh, I'm so happy I was able to live react to that, because that was a really cool moment. Anyway, that's all I've got here. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, all the best.